There he is. He's so on top of things. All right, this is my very favorite class to teach. So with Rise, a lot of these things that we teach you aren't very applicable. Like they are, but not yet, type of an idea. It's like this is how you do a buyer consultation. And you're like, oh, good. I now know how to do a buyer consultation, but I need a buyer. And then a lot of the lead generation classes, like you should just be doing, and it also seems scary to do. So it's just more like, I just need to jump in and do. This working with sellers, the reason that I like it so much is we are going to do it. Well, except for Matt, you need your license. Yours is here, right? Okay, good. Um, so our conversation today is going to be like, okay, imagine that you got a listing, you signed it, what does that look like from you being in the appointment saying, sign here to put me to work, to now we're going to go close this deal. But we are going to do a lot of things so that you can get leads because I want you to find business. And the best part of having a listing is you tend to get another transaction or two from it. The best agents, every time they take a listing, they are able to get two closed buyers off of that. So one listing equals three transactions. The way that that works, it kind of maths out pretty simple. If someone's selling their house, they're usually buying a house. So they're one of the buyers. Then the rest of your marketing should actually get you another buyer. And if that buyer happens to have a house to sell, then it's just a snowball effect. So we're going to talk about that, but let's kind of talk timeline. So you sign a listing agreement. You're in someone's house. You go and do an appointment, just like the class, whenever it was. Jessica, who just did that? I don't remember. Anyway, you get the listing agreement signed and you walk out the door and you do the little like cartoon heel click and go celebrate. And then all of the work happens. So from here, the very first thing you should do is involve Brittany, the transaction coordinator, and you let her know that you have a listing because she is going to do a lot of work in the background. You can also do all of these things yourself if you want to learn it. Brittany will do it all, and we are paying for that for you as part of the productivity coaching program. So yes, Brittany is a real person, and she actually is in this office too. Yes. She is not AI, and she is not even in a different location. So if you walk up the stairs, her office is like on the left, like kind of by the elevator type of an idea. So she'll do everything with timeline. So like what her process is when you take the listing, she'll send all of the documents that you need signed. So even if you're like, ah, crap, I didn't get an exclusive right to sell signed, she'll send that off. Or if you're like, all I got was the exclusive right to sell, that's my playbook. I only did this one most important document. Will you do the rest of them? She'll do that. She'll help order photography, get a sign in the yard. She'll create the MLS listing. And so it's ready to go and publish online. And so there's all of like this prep work that goes into like getting a listing live. And then once it's live, she'll kind of just hang out in the background while the listing is live. Once you go under contract, she'll jump back in and help you with all the deadlines, again, the paperwork, make sure you're walking through everything correctly. Yeah, so definitely a valuable resource. Um, I thought I had slides for this, to be honest, but I haven't created them. So we're going to kind of wing it. So when you have a listing, do you know the best way to sell a listing? Like what helps a listing sell the very most? Like what can you do as an agent that causes a listing to sell? Okay, well, perfect. The thing that makes a listing sell is the MLS. If you put a listing on the MLS, and it is priced correctly and it like looks good on the MLS, all of that's right, it will sell. They did a study, the National Association of Realtors did this study about for sale by owners versus an agent listed home. They found that on average, homes sell for 3% more when listed with an agent. I don't know how they figured this out because you can only sell a house once. So how do you figure out that me as an agent can sell it better than a for sale by owner? Coincidentally, our average commission is a little under 3%. Most agents ask for 3%. Some ask for 2.5 or 2. But we are able to sell more for more. So we basically cover our costs, which is an awesome stat that makes me almost wonder, did they make it up? It's too coincidental. But imagine this, like if you don't have the MLS, where can you actually post your house that it's for sale? You're very limited, right? You maybe get Facebook Marketplace, maybe KSL. Do people still go to Craigslist? I don't know about that one. So you get a handful of these sites. So I give this analogy that I can't think of a better one, but this is not a great analogy. But like imagine you're selling your house, and all you do to sell your house was put a flyer on your door that says, I'm selling my house and I would accept an offer of $400,000, even though your house is worth $500,000. Like I'm selling my house for $400,000. You know who's going to buy that house? The Amazon delivery guy. Because he's going to walk up and be like, oh my goodness, this house is only $400,000. I will take it. And that will be the only person that is interested. No one else comes to your door. No one else is going to know that your house is for sale. So you can start to look at like, okay, how could I level this up? Like, let's put a sign in my yard. Well, now you only get everyone that drives past your house that does it. And oh, let's go put a billboard or a sign on the main street saying that there's a house for sale down here. And then you only get people that are willing to follow your arrows or your billboards or whatever. And then like you could do a mailer and you can do all of these things. And you're trying to just get the most people in front of your house because that's the only way that you have to sell it. Well, when you post it on the MLS syndicates out to every single website that has houses. So like everyone in Keller Williams has a website, and every one of those websites has every single listing from every MLS in the whole nation. It even has access to all of the KW listings across the world. So you could like zoom into Brazil or Korea. I saw some houses the other day. Like anywhere you want, Keller Williams has that. So, but just specifically Utah, if you post on the MLS, every person that has a website, it goes to the Zillows, to the Realtor.com, to the Homes.com, Trulia. Anywhere that someone is looking for houses, it will be posted there. And so it is like, if you were running an auction and I just had you two in the room, it doesn't matter what I'm selling, I'm probably not going to make the most amount of money. Now, if I did it in team meeting where this room is packed, I'll probably make more money. If I did it at like I just went to family reunion and there was 13,000 agents there. If I did it from the stage with 13,000 agents, I'm probably going to make even more money. That's the kind of marketing that we want to do. We want it in front of the most amount of people. So if you want to sell a house, you want the MLS to be awesome. What this looks like is awesome pictures, awesome description, and all of the right information. We're actually going to go judge some of these right now. Then past this, once the MLS is awesome, like that's going to sell the house. Everything else you do is to benefit you and to tell your sellers that you're doing stuff. The number one complaint that sellers used to have, they stopped asking them, or that they stopped getting this answer because homes were selling too fast. But when homes weren't selling fast, the number one complaint is my agent doesn't communicate with me enough. I felt like they posted it on the MLS and did nothing else. And so we don't want to do that. We want to talk to the seller every single week. So I have a recurring appointment in my calendar that says update my sellers. And it happens Friday after lunch. And I just go and I update my sellers on everything that went on, everything that I did, every showing that happened, every sign call, every inquiry, anything that I could say. If I have nothing to say, then I say, hey, I just want to check in, see how you're going. Um, because what will happen is if the house is not selling, they're either okay with the timeline or they're very upset with the timeline. Do you know how long it takes a house to sell on average? 2 months. So if you listed a house today, we're basically March. So we're going to be all of March, all of April, and then it's a 30-day closing process. So all of May. You're closing like June, end of May or June. If you list your house today. Isn't that crazy to think about? We are literally in the summertime. Like I am swimming by the time your house sells if I list your house today on average. And so some people don't know those things and they will have crazy expectations and be like, yeah, I'd love to move out in April 15th. Okay, well, we're going to have to price it accordingly because we can do different pricing plans, right? As you were doing the CMAs, you can come up with like a more aggressive price. It's like, I think this is going to sell way fast. And you could be like maybe someone will pay this for it, but I wouldn't kind of a price. Or you can try to go right in the market and it will all determine on how you're doing. And you can update your price. I call them price adjustments rather than reductions or anything like that. So we can have a price adjustment every week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, kind of depending on how quickly we want to sell it. I like the plan of every 3 weeks, we lower the price. That's always what I try to tell my sellers. It's like, if we're not getting offers or seeing enough showings, then we're probably priced too high. We need to adjust the price. So every 3 weeks, I'm going to come to you and we're going to talk about doing this. We're going to repoll comps. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the data that we have from like how many calls am I getting, the interest through the views, the everything that we have on the MLS and all of the data that we have from showings and talk about should we lower the price. So be ready for that every 3 weeks. So I always set that expectation. And then that's one of my Friday calls. Hey, it's been 3 weeks. Let's talk. Yeah.
It's a appropriate increment you got to,
The bigger, the better. So the more that you can lower the price, the more serious people will take it. I like to think in percentages and make them round numbers. So like I would always try to do like a 0.5% to 1% every time that I'm lowering the price. If it's less than that, it's almost like a marketing tactic. Because if the price is lowered, then we will have it notifies people on the MLS. Like there was a price reduction on this. And so sometimes people will do it down by like $100 or $1,000. And it's like they just want to like put it out there. Like again, like, hey, don't forget about me. Like I'm here. But they already saw your listing and they didn't want it at your price. So if you're like, if I went down by $5,000 or $10,000, will it do it? If you're a $2 million home and you lower the price by $5,000, that means nothing. Like you're probably going to have to go like 20, 30, 40, $50,000 for it to even like register with people that you lowered your price.
if I say it off the 10, it still doesn't really.
Yeah. Yeah. So the bigger, the better. And sometimes it's strategic, right? You might look and be like, hey, look, all of the comps were saying we should have been at 550. We're listed at 575 and we're not getting anything. We should probably be about 550. So then you're going to do a 25,000 price reduction. And that might seem big, but really it's just getting us in line where we need to be, you know?
I'm gonna take it off the market. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Benefits.
Not really. Like just there's all these like marketing tactics, like let's change the front picture, take it off the market for a day, then put it back on, or update the price and all of these things. the market, if you're not getting showings, rejected your price. So I always say there's three things that sell a home. It is the condition of your home, the price of your home, and the marketing of your home. So the first one, condition, is all on the seller. The last one, the marketing, is all on you as the agent. And I would put like the photos and description and how you put everything on the MLS is probably majority of that marketing that you need to do. And so if you did a bad job at that, you might not sell the house. That middle one, the pricing, is kind of both of you. Just and so if you're like, okay, the condition is good and the marketing is good, well, then the pricing is not good. And so it's like if you listed a house at 500,000 and you had it listed for 6 months and you never got anything and then it expired and then I go and list it and I list it for 500, why would anyone buy a house that was just listed with you at 500 if I'm using like a professional photographer just like you did? I do a ChatGPT written description just like you did. I have all of the same details. Like nothing's different. Like why would it sell? And it won't. It's because the price is wrong. But maybe me coming in even at 490 might be enough to make someone jump, kind of an idea.
Trying. So what is on the reset?
Uh-huh. Yeah, so days on market, the MLS learned from all of these agents that were trying to do this. So if you take it off market, it has to be off for a period of time. I can't remember if it's 30 or 60 days or listed with someone completely different to reset it. So maybe if you listed it, then you canceled and I listed it. But sometimes that's not even true. I don't know if it's the same brokerage or whatever. So we're going to do some judgment here, and then we're going to figure out how you guys can go get some leads from these listings. So we're here to the MLS. I'm just going to do a quick search. I'm going to do full. I don't know why I called it quick. So we have active listings as our only criteria so far. And then we're going to do an office, and we're going to do our office, KW Westfield. Oh, I also want one more thing. I don't want it. Where do they hide things? Belt and standing, and I'm going to do 2024. All right, let's do, we have so many here. Just want to narrow it down. All right, Utah County, 43. That's still a lot. Okay. So we got some houses here. Let's scroll down. I want something that's been on the market a little bit. Ooh, okay. You guys ready to judge this one? Um, let's see. I'm gonna just open it in a new tab. So this one, well, let me zoom in. Okay, I actually know a lot about this one. So this is Colby Collins. He's an agent here in our office. He's a new agent. He's closed 3 deals, and this would be his fourth. So kind of a fun listing here. So we'll kind of familiarize ourselves with it. So we got the pictures. Got decent, okay, well, wait, let's slow it down. We got the bedroom or the, what is that? The living room. Got the little dining and kitchen area. It's got a little pantry in it. It's got a sunset room. Yeah. An entry room. Some bedrooms. Carpet looks like it's been like recently cleaned or vacuumed or something, which is good. This carpet looks old. You can see the where they had their furniture. Got some older lights, some older fixtures, kind of a thing. Some closets, storage room, a Minecraft tile room. Yeah. Um, Yeah, nice bathroom. And then the laundry area and garage. So a bunch of storage. Nice deck, nice backyard with a shed. Even the garage comes out towards the back. So you can drive straight through the garage to the backyard. That's cool. So, okay. Um, I have opinions already. And I should tell Colby this because we just sat down. Um, I think pictures should be in order of like how you walk through the home. I am very specific. You do the front exterior, then you do where you walk in. So usually that family room area, then the kitchen, then the master bedroom and bathroom, then the bedrooms, then you go downstairs and you kind of do whatever fits in those things. Like if the laundry room is upstairs, I want it to be upstairs with all of the bedrooms and everything like that. If it's downstairs, it's with all of the basement pictures. So then you kind of get this flow in your mind as you're looking at it because we took a long time and it's like, I don't know where this room is, because I don't think you're walking into this room. And these windows look a little bit higher, so it's one of these two bottom rooms. So this is obviously a split level house, so this is probably you go in and down to get to this. But that's not like what most people are going to see. They're going to see this when they come in. So I would put this first, and then I would do these kitchen angles from there. Then I don't think this is the master. I think this is the other bedroom that's right in the front. So then I would do this was probably the master. And I like to group things together if they're the master, like I think this is just one of each of the different rooms. All their carpets are different colors, so that's fine. And then so I do the upstairs one. So this one's obvious upstairs. This one's obviously upstairs. This one's upstairs. And then this one's a downstairs. So I would try to make it seem like, okay, now I'd break it up with a like that downstairs family room and then do the bedrooms that are downstairs. What?
Put on captions.
Yep, and put it on the captions. Like the more that you can do there, the better off, right? Because so imagine you're a buyer and you're trying to decide if you want this home. So like even these bathrooms, right? If this is your upstairs bathroom, you're fine with that. That's where everyone's going to come and hang out in your house and they're going to walk in this and be like, you have a great bathroom. Then maybe you have like kids downstairs and this is their bathroom and they freaking love that. And you don't have to have any guests ever go in that bathroom and you're like, I don't even care about that bathroom. Who cares? Like that's kind of a fun, unique thing. Um, and so putting them side by side is like, oh, but if you put this with like the upstairs stuff and then this with the downstairs stuff, you'd be like, oh, that's the downstairs one. I don't even care about that. Like that's extra for me and we're not going to use that. Um, Yeah. End with the backyard, so you're ending on a high note. And then I, the photographer is going to give you a set number of photos. It's something like 25 or 30 or something like that. Some of them you don't need, to be honest. Like, do you need both of these? Like this, and then like, I don't know. You don't need to remove any just to remove them. But like these two, like I guess it shows that there's two sheds. But this one also shows that there's two sheds. I don't know. If you ever like, this is not helping me sell this house, remove it. Because your goal is online. You want people to be so excited to go see your house that they schedule a showing. That's the whole goal of the online view. The other goal is for you to get leads, but like, that's what you want to do. The one thing you don't want to do is have bad surprises. So so we could remove this picture of this ugly bathroom, but if we decided that this was a bad surprise, then we don't want to do that. He was mentioning in one of these rooms, I think it's this one, on the back wall, they did like burnt in etched on wood paneling, like some artwork. And he's had people that walk through the house that are like, can I buy that artwork on the wood paneling? They've literally asked him. And he's like, oh, you totally can for $520,000. So so pictures are there. It's pretty good. Maybe a couple little tweaks. I don't think that's going to help sell the house for more, but it's just preference. Because yeah, yes.
Driveway.
Um, yeah, and I also hate everything about this front picture, right? There you have the shadow here that takes up so much room. The tree is making the house look so dark. It looks like the middle of winter and something like this. Now it is the middle of winter, so that's what you should kind of expect. But like I imagine like a cleaner, crisper picture here would probably serve him a little bit better. Um, and it's all on the photographer here.
It's like driveway, the line is going like this.
Yeah. Yeah, because look at this one shows it really well. Like that's a weird thing that they did. Like what who did that? Yeah. So, and you'll have weird things like that all over the place. So, um, the reason I like to get my photos in order is if you go sit with an agent that has like 5 clients, all actively searching for houses, do you know what they do when they get to the MLS? They do this. That's how they look at houses, pictures. It is ridiculous. It is like you get half a second for each picture, and they're just, is this kind of the check the boxes, you know? Like I know they want a garage, great. I know they want a deck, great. Boom, boom, boom. I'm just going through. I can see all the things. I don't need to see in detail because I'm just deciding, should I look into this more? Great kitchen, fine. Weird room, whatever. And then you'd get into the weird like Minecraft room and you'd be like, wait, what? What was that? And it might be like, oh wait, go back to that. What is that? And so if you can just create an actual flow, it goes really well. And that's more for agents that are doing a whole bunch. So, okay, a couple of things here to look at. Always make sure that everything is right here. So if you go on and search, we'll do that in a second, but um, as you search, if someone's like, I want a house that has a bedroom upstairs or downstairs, like this is going to impact them. I need the laundry on the main level, whatever. So those kind of things. I want a fully finished basement. They have 100%. Is it 100% finished? No, we saw the unfinished part in the laundry room. That's a lie, but it's also not a lie. Um, the flooring, he doesn't have any flooring listed. So if someone's like, I want specific flooring, he's not going to show up on that. Not a very common search. Um, but then like, okay, we have a part fence, we have landscaping, mature trees, like we have all of these things. It has us put animals. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know why. For all of these. Yeah.
You typing it in and selecting it.
Yeah, so it's a selection. So I'll even show you here. So when you go to select a new listing, it's going to say, okay, what kind is it? And then you can base it on another MLS, which is most common. And then like I would choose me and do this as blah, blah, blah. And so it's going to pull everything from that listing that I did. If I don't have that listing, then I have to go fill out everything. But then we're just going to fill in all of the details.
Okay.
And so then like as we get further down, like it's like, okay, we need to put square footage here. For some reason that didn't pull. What kind of basement is it? And then you have all of these. So like, do we have anything here? The more that you can select, the better off you are. You know, like, do they have cable TV wired? Like, that's a stupid one, but like, do you have that? Is it a gas? Like, so you can start to do this. And the more you can put here, the better, because an agent could search for anything here. For example, I have these buyers that want an RV pad, but they don't really care if they have an RV pad. They just want room for the RV. So I need to look at every picture. But some lazy agents might be like, well, you want an RV pad. That's very important to you. So I'm going to only show houses that have the RV pad. And so if you didn't select that, you're not going to show up.
But there's no like SEO.
No, the most SEO you can get is in the description. Yeah, that's where you have the freedom. So I wanted to show you Zillow. A lot of people use Zillow, so like, oh, I want to buy. So as you're searching for homes, right? Like if we say we want to find homes in Orem, it's going to start just pulling everything. And then we're going to start clicking and narrowing it down. So list price, you'll notice that like we have a minimum and a maximum. And as we choose, it's going to go in $50,000 increments. So when in doubt, hit one of these because like if I'm like, well, I want like a 450 to 500 house, like I might put 500 and then I might put 450 here. If you're listed at 499.9, you just didn't show up in my search right now. If you're listed at 5 or at 450, you're there. Not everyone uses the minimums like that, so it's less important on the minimum. It is very important on the maximum. If you can be in one of these breaks, which some sites are 25,000, some sites are 50,000, I would match those because then you're going to show up with those. You'll notice it's like beds, baths, make sure you have those right. Home types, it's pulling that, and then more. It has some things, but not everything, right? Has a basement, has views, like so like interesting things like that that you can put. So the more that you can put here, the more you're going to show up for people. So okay, we have it in, we have it listed. Now we're going to do the real judging. So, and this is where I want you guys to get creative and figure out how do I go get more leads from someone else's listing? Because that's your homework is I want you to figure out, can you go market someone else's listing? So we're going to do it with this. Oh, last thing I wanted to show you is this history. So every time that you make a change, it is logged in this history. So you'll see that Brittany, the transaction coordinator, posted it active for him on January 6th. Then 1 month later, they lowered the price by $10,000. And that's all that they've done. And so he hasn't updated the description or anything like that. If you were to add something in the description like open house on Saturday, definitely make sure by Sunday that's not there anymore. But it would log in there. So, okay, we're going to go search for this house. By the way, little things that I always am curious about. This one is listed as number 6. I'm pretty sure when the builder built this, it was their number 6 lot. And so they have an address and they have a lot number. And oh, yep, look here. The tax ID ends in 0006. So the builder's 6th lot or whatever. It is not unit number 6 or anything number 6. We don't need that number 6. It means nothing to us. But no one ever takes that away. Okay. So if we were to just search his house, and by the way, I do this for sellers, and I literally will just copy this link and be like, hey, your house is active. I just wanted to share it with you because when they get in here, Google used to say how many results it found, and it was impressive. But now we can start to see like, okay, Zillow shows up first. Realtor, it's there. Coldwell Banker Homes, Utah Real Estate, Homes.com, EXP, Homey, Best Utah Real Estate, whatever that is. Zillow again for some reason. So like we have so many pages and you're listed everywhere. So I've done a good job marketing. Like this is you proving. But so you don't have control over any of this. These are all syndicated out. What you do have control over is other things. So if we were to go to ksl.com and search for homes, How do I want to just search for homes. Homes, there we go. So if we wanted to buy Lehigh, oh, found it. Wait. All right. So our price was, we'll put in 520. 500. So he's not showing up on KSL. So this is where you guys have this opportunity. And if you were like, you could reach out to Colby and be like, hey, Colby, I'm a new agent and I love to market homes. And I was wondering if I could market your home to help you try to sell it and try to bring you a buyer that I would then represent. Would you be cool with that? And Colby is not doing this. So Colby might say, yep. Or he might be like, wait, how are you doing it? Then I'm not doing it. And then you could tell him. But if he was okay with it, then you could post it here and you get to collect any leads because he is giving you authorization to do that. And so then you can even click on these to see what it's like. So this one's for sale by owner. By the way, you can call this person and be like, I want to sell your house. For sale by owner marketing, it's a thing. So does this tell us like favorites or something? 4 people favorited this house. Already, I know this is wrong. I know that they're lying to us because this is a townhome. And on the bottom, it says HOA fees, not applicable. I have never seen a townhome that doesn't have HOAs. So right now, I don't trust anything in their listing, and I'm worried about what this looks like. And so this owner, oh, it won't let me see it because I'm not logged in, that posted this 19 days ago that has 219 people that have seen this. I wonder, can I see? So I wanted to show you some things. So here's, let's find a real listing. What is this one? Land. No, I want residential. Ooh, how about this one? Okay, $1.1 million home. Like that's a nice one, right? Where was that? This one? If we click on these statistics, so 13 listing alerts that happened, 1 favorite. That's like, well, KSL had 4 favorites. Agents viewed it 1,400, almost 1,500 times. Publics viewed it 16, almost 1,700 times. Where we compare this to this random one that has 219 views. So when we talk about like, and this is just the MLS. That's all the views that it's counting. So we have no idea about Zillow, about homes.com, realtor.com, Trulia, any agent site. So like,
So it's Utah Real
oh,
Estate.
and this is just for the past week, the last 7 days. If we were to do the last 14 days, oh, that one didn't change. So this changed. So 2 favored it in the last 14 days. So if you post it on utahrealestate.com, it is going to go crazy. Let's see if this looks cool. If this is good enough to send to your sellers. No, this is dumb. There used to be a way that you could see more stats. I guess they changed it. Anyway, so you guys now have this opportunity to post on KSL because people do look for houses. I mean, there's 219 people that clicked on this house. So if you posted Colby's listing here, what are the chances that someone calls you or texts you and then now you just have a lead? Like Colby's missing out on that lead. The other place, and maybe I'm not going to be able to do this, is the Facebook Marketplace. What are the chances it's Marketplace? So you can do oh, here we go. Property rentals, home sales, boom. We want it to be Lehi, Utah. So it's probably because I'm not logged in, I'm not seeing any, but yeah, there's a handful of listings here. Some people do search on Facebook for homes for sale. And what's cool is when you post a home for sale on Facebook, is it also randomly will show in people's feeds that you posted a home for sale, and people will be like, "Oh, that's so cool." And they'll click on it and they'll get some traction, right? Facebook wants people to see the listings, and so they're going to purposely put it in front of people that they think will click on it. They are very strategic about that. So Facebook is an awesome place to start doing this. Now, the hack with Facebook is if you're going to do this, the more that you are an awesome Facebook marketplace user, the more that you get shown to people. Did you find some? Is it on Facebook? Okay, so he put it on Facebook. So that you couldn't do that one because he's already doing that one. But so if you want to really amp up your game, start selling random things in your house on Facebook Marketplace. Even if it doesn't matter, there's this agent Kylie who started to do this as a big push in her business when she was new, and she would post everyone's listing that would let her. And then to really amp it up, she started just sell things in her house, like a random pillow for $2. And she's like, it's the craziest thing. People would come to my house to buy a $2 pillow. And she would be like, I don't even care about this. Just take it. I just wanted to be like shown on Facebook that I'm selling things because then she gets shown better because Facebook is like, oh, she's more of a power user. So she kind of gets boosted up there. And so that's an awesome way to go out there. So you can get creative in how you can go out and put homes for sale, right? We have KSL and Facebook, Craigslist are probably like the big three that don't just like get the listing information. But there's nothing to say that you can't go do a video walkthrough of the house and post that to your social media and try to get some traction there or find a buyer there. However, the one thing with all of this is whatever you're doing, you do need permission. So if it's your listing, you have to get permission from yourself because you need to do the best things that are for your sellers to sell the house. And if that's doing all of this marketing, which it probably is, then do that. If when in doubt, you can always ask your seller. If it is your listing, you have to go talk to that listing agent and get permission from them. If they're in our brokerage, it's really easy. You only need their permission. If they are outside of our brokerage, you may need the broker's permission. And it all depends on that broker and the agent and how anal they are about things. But I usually would present this as like, I market listings to try to find buyers. I noticed that there was some gaps in things places you marketed it. Could I do that? This works well with people that have multiple listings. Like Clay, we were just looking at his listings and look at all of these listings he has. Now he's on a team, so he might have this all figured out. But if he has 25 residential listings, 19 land listings, 7 commercial, and 1 residential lease. That's weird that he has that. If he has that many going on, what are the chances that he's able to market all of them well? Now, he does have a marketer that should be doing this for him. He has a transaction coordinator that should help out. So he might be doing great. But if you meet like some of these agents on the wall that are like all by themselves that don't have a big marketing team behind them, like maybe they just need some help marketing and you just say, could I market your listing? And if I happen to find buyers, I'll come bring them to try to sell your house. If they say, yep, then go run with it. Open houses are another great way to do this. So if you're doing, I mean, Colby, for example, his listing, he had another new agent do an open house listing. Here's her story. She sat in the listing. There were 5 people that came through. 4 of them had an agent. One of them did not. That one that did not lived in the neighborhood and said, I love this neighborhood and I want my grandson to move into this neighborhood. Let's make an offer. Like that was literally the conversation. And so she said, great. I think there's an opportunity that we make an offer a little bit lower than what he was listed. He was 525 at this time. So she said, I think we should offer 510 to 515. She's like, I don't really care about the price, but sounds great. Let's do it. And then as she was writing up the offer, the lady's like, you know what? He doesn't want to move in here. Like, I don't know, maybe if I can get another one of my grandkids to move in, then I'd do it. But so she backed out. But she was like this close, like basically get something under contract from holding the open house. Now she still has this person that might want to buy a house in the area and things like that. So there's like still this huge opportunity. So what we can do here is we can go back to our list of listings here, and we can start going through them one by one and seeing who they are and see what they're doing. So like Jessica Williams, we could do the same game plan and say, okay, Jessica, you got this house in American Fork. It's 1 day on the market. So hopefully she's starting to do all of this today. If she's not, like, there's no like open house. Usually the button's up here, right? Where it says open house. I don't think there's an open house on this one. So you'd be like, Jessica, I just saw your house and it looks awesome. Looks so good. Do you have someone doing an open house this weekend? Because I would love to do that. By the way, like I do a whole bunch of marketing when I do my open house. Are you cool if I post it on Facebook and KSL and all of these other things to try to get you a buyer? You know what Jessica's probably going to say? I would love all of that. Or she'll say, I'm actually doing all of that. Either way, it's a win-win, right? Be like, okay, well, great. If you ever need anyone, I'm here for you. And then now you now have a relationship with her a little bit. 2 days on market, we could do the same thing. Who's this agent? Lane Thompson. He's got an assistant. I know he does. And wait, who's doing an open house for him? No, Max is doing one for him. Just told me yesterday. I think it's probably this one. So you could be like, hey, Lane, saw your house. 2 days on the market. Do you have someone doing the open house? I'd love to post it on KSL and Facebook and however else you think that you can go attract leads, right? Because Lane has it on the MLS, that's going to sell the house. Now you need to figure, what can I go do to get leads from this house? And it might be as easy as like, okay, here's a great example of something that we can do to get leads from the MLS. So if we, down here, public remarks, there are 44 listings that are currently active that have the words TLC in the public remarks. So we could come here and start clicking through some of these and see, like, is this flip worthy? And this is 2 days on the market. It needs some TLC. And so you could send this out to your sphere, be like, hey, I found this house that I think is flip worthy. Like you'd have to do a little bit of research into it and just say, who has ever wanted to buy an investment property either to flip or to hold? And you send this out to everyone that you know. And you might even do some of these like the front picture was pretty good. This would be a great picture to highlight here. Now, you can't just post this on your social media because you don't have permission from whoever this agent is. Who is it? You'd have to call Carly and be like, hey, or Connor, and be like, hey, guys, I love your ghetto house that you have. Can I post this to my social media? I think I have some people that might really want to buy it. And then they'll either say, yep, help me sell it, which is the most common answer, because in this world, the problem we have is attention. right? We need the most attention on our stuff. So if I want to sell this house as this agent, I want everyone to post about it. If I had like CNN pick up on the news story and post this listing to me, that's only going to be a good thing for me because now my house is out there, more people, more news. If every agent's like, I think I found this investment property, like I want that. So whenever an agent reaches out to me and is like, hey, can I post your house on social media? Yes. The answer is yes and yes. And then please tag me. It's like, okay, we're listed at 615. Is that a good price? I don't know. We'd have to do some digging. Here's another one. This one says TLC. It looked really nice on the outside. I don't know why this one needs TLC. Like this one looks great. This is not a flipper. But for somewhere they said,
Just DLC question.
oh, a little TLC. Not great. Yeah, so then you got some more of these houses. Yeah, this one just looks like it's little and old. But so you can get creative if you like, maybe I have some investors, like go find some investment properties and do that. If you don't know what you like, first time home buyers, like let's go through and try to find all the best first time home buyer houses and let's send those out. As long as you have permission from the agent, you can post it to social media. To be honest, I never get permission from the agent when I send an email because I know that agent and other agents aren't in my email list. So maybe that's the wrong thing. Broker Dean would probably say get permission. But if I'm like, if I were to grab Jessica's listing and say, my brokerage just posted this live and I think it's a great deal, here's why. If Jessica happened to hear about that, I'm pretty sure she'd be okay with me doing that. So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to figure out how you can go leverage other people's listings into buyer leads for you. Like, what does that look like for you? There's a handful of things you can do, some of them we talked about, and you can go more boots on the ground with some of these things. You could go door knock the neighbors and say, we're selling this house. Who do you know that wants to move in? And if we attract more buyers, who in the neighborhood do you want to move out that I should go talk to? And so you can get creative like that. You can send out mailers to the neighborhood. You can hold the open house, do all the online ads. We didn't even talk about Facebook ads or anything like that, but you could run something like that. If you're like, you know what, the person that buys this house is probably going to be a three kid family that works somewhere in a tech job at the point of the mountain and has a dog. Well, can we go target that person? The answer is no, because it's a protected class. Facebook won't let you do things with like, I'm going to market these houses towards families. It won't let you do that. But if you're like, okay, tech person with a dog, like, can we market to those? Yes. Like you could go choose those like as interests and things like that on Facebook and run an ad, and maybe you're going to be better at it than someone else that is not running ads or just running a generic ad to a whole bunch of people. And so then the whole idea is how do you get leads from listings? There's an opportunity here and you can go do it. There's a bunch of other sites that we didn't talk about that don't syndicate that people will often post to. Facebook communities is a big one that you can post in a community, right? Colby could go into the Lehigh community and say, I have this listing. Who do you know? Who should move by? Like those neighborhood type things. There's a site called Neighborhoods. Is that what it's called? It's like connected to Ring doorbells or something. Nextdoor. That's the one. Nextdoor. You could go to Nextdoor, join that neighborhood and post it there. Who knows? I think people only get on Nextdoor to say, what was that noise? Was that a gunshot? That's all I ever see. And so I'm like, I like unsubscribe from everything. I like, yeah. Whose cat is this? I had to get off of mine because my neighbors are always like, whose dog is this? I'm like, it's my dog, okay? My dogs love to wander the neighborhood. As soon as my kids open the door, they bolt. then everyone's calling me. And they're like, your dogs are out. And I'm like, I know, it's so nice and peaceful here. That's why my dogs are out. And they'll come back. Or I don't have dogs. Win, win. So, um, so you guys could go and build out something. I had ChatGPT build this, so it's not great or anything, but you could have like a checklist to make sure you have everything that you need. Like, let's go start to build out all the social media graphics. By the way, you should post to your social media, and your sellers should post to their social media. So you can just say, hey, here's like all of the stuff that you need, seller, to go post to your social media. It's something like 3 or 4% of people that bought a house last year found it because they knew the owners. So let's tap into that. So get all ready. Then we're gonna uh, have a launch day checklist. Like the MLS is going to go active. It's going to go to third-party sites. Those are really easy. Maybe we need to do an email blast. Buyers agents, they don't care. If I get an email about a house that just went active, like I don't care because I have alerts on the MLS for all of my buyers. That's not going to do anything, but my database doesn't. So maybe I'm going to start to blast that out. I'm going to post on social media. You can build your single property website. You should have a lockbox for sure. By the way, I have those upstairs if you need them. Then like, what are we going to do our first week? What are we going to do ongoing and everything like that. So this is 100% just chat GPT'd. And so you can do that, but start building out your checklist. Like, what am I going to do when I have this? And then figure out, can I do any of these to go generate leads for someone else? And when I say for someone else, I mean for you with someone else's listing. So like some of these things like the social media posts, targeted social media ads, Facebook, KSL, stuff like that. Do you need paid ads, video walkthrough, neighborhood flyer or postcards, those kind of things. Go leverage other people listings into your benefit. Questions, thoughts? Yeah.
When you're leveraging other people's things there, not only is there some obligation, there's some sort of industry.
Oh, yes. Do you have obligation to actually sell their house? No, you don't. If you get a lead and this lead is like, hey, I saw your house. I think it's great. Let's go see it. You should be like, hey, you know what? We should also go see a couple other houses because you might not like this. And I think I have some others that are better deals for you. And they'll be like, what? And you'll be like, yeah, I'm here to serve you because I am a buyer's agent. So I'm going to help you get the best deal. I'm not going to help the seller sell their house. When it is your listing, though, that's when you're like, yeah, come buy this house. And you'll really want to. But then if you're like, this isn't the house for you, then great, let's go find some other house and do that.
I don't know, some describing, they came from California, they knew people in California. So people in California, other realtors gives it some
Oh.
money.
Oh, yep.
Is that
Nope. If you're doing all of this, you shouldn't have to pay a referral fee or anything like that. Yeah. Um, it's some agents might ask for that. And then you can just be like, oh, no, like I'm gonna do all the work to sell your house. Like I should almost ask for a referral fee from you. Like throw it back on them and be like, if you don't want me to like market your house and go find leads and try to sell your house, like I'll just go find someone else. I can only do this with a handful of properties and at a time and make it seem exclusive. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard agents, it's funny, I've heard agents do two different things. Some agents are like, every time I do an open house, I pay someone $100 to do that open house for me. I'm like, that is awesome. Like, sign me up for that. Like, I know a bunch of agents that are doing open houses for free. And then I've heard other agents that are like, every time someone does an open house for me, they have to pay me 25% off of any of the leads that they find. And I'm like, what? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, they're sitting in it, they're doing all of the work, they're trying to sell it. And if they sell your house, you get money. If they don't sell your house, you wouldn't have sold that house anyway, and you didn't want to sit in the open house, so why are you getting money from it? So yeah, yeah. So don't do that. There are companies that try to do a bunch of marketing for listings. If you get a listing, I don't know how they do it, but somehow they're like scrubbing all the new listings that come out, and you will get a series of blast emails that are like, hey, let me go build a website for you, or create this mailer and send it out, and all of these things. So there's like companies out there that that's their marketing game plan. So they'll reach out to listing agents that have it and say, we'll do these extra things for you, but you can do the same thing. Hey, so you just got a listing. I'd love to do some marketing for you for free. I just get all the leads. Or maybe you say, I'll do it for $100 and then you build a company around it. Maybe that's how those companies got started. I don't know. So, yeah. So, okay, today I want you to figure out like, okay, what are you going to do to market a listing to get leads? Because that's a big thing. Then the next thing I want you to figure out is this is more for when you have a listing. What does your week by week process look like to keep the sellers in the loop and keep them happy? If you have 2 months of this house not selling before it gets an offer, like what does that look like for you? And I'll leave you with this little story is so I got a call one day. She was my parents' neighbor had bought a house, so they weren't neighbors anymore. And then they were looking to sell that house. And her best friend just became a real estate agent. And so she's like, yeah, you're my best friend. You can sell my house. It was a really nice house down the street from a Parade of Homes home. And it was the middle of summer, everything like that. And anyway, I got this call one day from her and I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? How's it going? And she's like, hey, I have a question for you. Like, we're selling our house and we're just not happy with our agent. And if that ever happens to you, it's almost like, ooh, this is maybe a cha-ching. So you can't help coach people out of a listing agreement, but you can tell them when you get out, which you can get out of listing agreements, call me. I can do all of these things. But the secret is to listen all of the things that that agent's doing wrong, and then you just do those things right. So I was like, well, tell me more. What's up? And she's like, we don't feel like the home is marketed very well. Like we're down the street from a Parade of Homes. Parade of Homes is going on right now. There's no sign like home for sale down the street from us. And she hasn't done an open house and this and that. And she just had all of these complaints. And I'm just like, yeah, well, I'm like, okay, well, you should talk to her. If you decide that she shouldn't be your agent, I can be your agent. Now, I know you guys are really good friends, so I'd even do nice things to her, like give her a referral fee or something like that, or we could partner. I was like, there's 1,000 ways that we could do this, so it's like a win-win. I didn't want to figure any of the things out like that. I wanted the listing. And so anyway, she's like, okay, I'll talk to her. I'll keep you posted. They ended up getting an offer 2 days later, so I didn't get to sell the house. But the solution, this agent, the only thing that they needed to do was to pick up the phone and call her best friend that was the seller and say, hey, how do you feel like everything is going? Like 100% honesty. How do you feel like things are going? Because if I am an agent and I am listing a house, there is nowhere in my brain or my checklist that's like, oh, the Parade of Homes is coming up. I should have a little arrow that goes to the sign because I don't know where all of the Parade of Homes are. I don't know where they are in relation to my listing. I don't know when they're going to start and when they're going to end and all of these things. But if the seller's like, there's a Parade of Homes down the street from me, all of a sudden my mind goes crazy. I'm like, well, we should do open houses like crazy. Like, did you like that home? Come check out a home in the neighborhood for free. Exclusive only to the Parade of Homes people. And you're like, you have to show us your ticket. Bonus house on the Parade of Homes route, like something like that. We could have gone crazy with the marketing. And you can get really creative and have fun with this, but you need to know that the seller has a problem. So there's a whole idea of like marketing and getting it out there and getting you leads and everything. But then you also have to have this process for updating them and having conversations. The first week is the easiest because you're like, okay, we just went live. I'm scheduled an open house. I did all this marketing. I'm putting it all out there. You're on Facebook, you're on KSL, like Google yourself, like you're everywhere. And then the next week you're like, okay, well, we had an open house last week and we didn't really have anyone. We had a couple of showings. And then the third week you're like, nobody walked through the house. My phone hasn't rang. And we're gonna have to talk about a price reduction. And then the fourth week, you're like, it's crickets here. Let's reduce our price adjustment. And then the fifth week, you're like, okay, well, I did the price adjustment. We're lower. We should get some more traction. And then you're like, we didn't get more traction. And so it's just like, what do you say? Like, what do you do? Because you front load everything to sell the house. Like, you need to just like reinvigorate the marketing every once in a while. And so, like, some of those conversations, that's where you're like, how do you feel like things are going? Like, what's missing? What do you feel like I am doing poorly? Like, give me the feedback and I can improve on those. Just want to make sure we're doing all of the right things. So then have those conversations. I suggest having those on Friday because without fail, your sellers will want to call you at the end of the week. And it will be like, like Friday night or Saturday sometime in the day. And be like, I'm doing something now. And then if you ever do like anything like an open house, always update them afterwards. You know, hey, we had 5 people come through. I'm going to follow up with all of them, type of an idea. Showings, I always tell all of the feedback, right? If you've done a showing yet, you'll notice that they ask for feedback automatically. Like there's an email that gets sent to you. Most agents don't fill that out. And I tell the sellers this, like, as soon as I get feedback, I'm going to tell you. I just don't get feedback on most listings. I'll even text agents sometimes like, hey, give me some feedback, anything. And they'll be like, which house were you? Like the one you saw like an hour ago. Like, I don't remember anything about it. Well, that's feedback. So I always tell my sellers, typically we get 2 kinds of feedback. One is like everything's really wrong with the house. We get lots of feedback with that. People love telling us all the garbage. And then the other thing is when people really love the house, they'll tell us that. It's that middle group that doesn't tell us anything, which actually does tell us something. So no feedback, we can kind of read between the lines. And feedback, we're going to take with a grain of salt because some people will be like, it's overpriced. And then they're going to make an offer. And so they're just trying to butter us up for a lower price. And then other people are like, your house is garbage. And then other people walk through and they're like, oh my goodness, look at this garbage. This is the beautiful thing that I've ever seen. I want this. So just having those conversations, but having them is the important part. Often, communication often. If you haven't talked to them in a week, you're doing it wrong. And that's probably true with all clients. If you have an agreement, talk to them every week. And then you'll close deals. So, okay, any other questions? Yeah.
Like, I just have to get like a lockbox code or something.
Oh yeah. So
I've never done.
have you done your new agent course? Okay. So when you do your new agent course, that's like your pre-requirement for getting their Supra key is what it's called. When you have your Supra key, you can open a lockbox and you can get into any show or house. And so with an open house, basically every house has a Supra box on it. You just go and open it with your app and get in and go. You can do it before then. You just need to make sure that you have a way in to the house. So if that's like the seller is already there, if the door is unlocked, if there's a combo box that you can do it, yeah, coordinate with the agent. Or just do one right after your class. Because you'll have the Supra, like literally you'll finish the class and then you're like, they set up your Supra while you're there. So, and get licensed. Yeah. And then all of this is around action. Like everything that you do, you might not be perfect, but something is better than nothing. And there's so many real estate agents that's a good and a bad thing. Because if you do something awful, no one will remember. Like they might remember the awfulness, they don't remember you though. Unless it's like your best friend or something like that. But like if you post on something to KSL and you do it wrong, I don't know how you would do it wrong, but people will see it and be like, that's wrong. What? I saw the HOA. There's no HOA. I don't believe anything. I don't know who that person is. I don't know. Like maybe they are like a big for sale by owner person that has like 10 listings. I don't know. And I'm not going to remember that. And next time I go to the KSL, it's not going to be a thing. Even if I go to that property again, if they fixed it later, I'm not going to remember it. So go take action, and then every action that you do, think, how can I make this just a little bit better? Right? It's the Mr. Beast YouTube video style. If you go back and watch his very first ever YouTube video, it sucks. It was awful. And he was awful for years and years. But now, if you wanted to make a Mr. Beast YouTube video, you like literally you don't have the knowledge to even direct people to go build it as he has built it. Like he is just light years further than us. But all it was is he was consistent and did the action and then just every time he thinks, how can I do this just a little bit better? We don't need to get a lot better. We just need compounding of a little bit. Like 1% improvement a day is like a ridiculous growth. There's math behind like, but it compounds, right? Hockey stick growth. So do that. So, okay, you guys are awesome.